What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics. Today we got a great song about her. We got Mary Clayton and her song Southern Man versus Betty Davis, They Say I'm Different. Brought to you by friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Fran. Thank you, Fran. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. We could not do it without the patrons. All right. Fran knows a lot about music and a lot about all kinds of music. Like, he brings us so much fantastic stuff over the years. On this one, I know who Mary Clayton is, of course. I'll tell you a little bit about her, but I never heard one of her solo songs. And Betty Davis, I didn't know this Betty Davis existed at all because it's not that Betty Davis. But let's jump into it with Southern Man, Mary Clayton. If you don't know anything about Mary, she's got a fantastic story. She's an American soul and gospel singer. She contributed vocals to numerous tracks and worked with many major recording artists for decades, including, of course, the quote duet with Mick Jagger on the Rolling Stones song, Give Me Shelter, just iconic. She's prominently featured in 20 Feet from Stardom, the Oscar-winning documentary about background singers and their contributions to the music industry. I've never seen that, but after researching this, I've got to go check it out. Her voice as a backing singer can be heard on songs by Pearl Bailey, Phil Oates, Burt Bacharach, Tom Jones, Joe Cocker, Ray Charles, Linda Ronstadt, Carole King, Tori Amos, and on several tracks from Neil Young's debut album, along with several other people. And she's always attributed to being on some of Elvis's songs, but they're never officially credited, so we can't really say that for sure. She began her recording career when she's only 14 years old. And just some of her career highlights: in 1972, she starred as the original Acid Queen in the first London production of The Who's Tommy. All the way up in 2015, she was featured on 2 tracks of Coldplay's albums, A Head Full of Dreams. In 2021, so this is 2024 when I'm filming this. This is 3 years ago. Her solo album, Beautiful Scars, was released. Her brother is Little Feat percussionist Sam Clayton. Now, Southern Man, it is that Southern Man, the Neil Young song that caused so much controversy from After the Gold Rush album in 1970. The lyrics, it's important, especially important when you consider Mary's bringing this, right, her perspective. It describes the racism towards blacks in the American South. Young tells the story of a white man, symbolically the entire white South, and how he mistreated slaves. Now, here's a real twist of irony here. So Southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd wrote Sweet Home Alabama in response to Southern Man and Alabama from Young's album, 1972 album, of course, the iconic Harvest. Now, what's interesting, Mary struggled with this, but she ended up singing on Sweet Home Alabama. So, like, she sings the song that caused the response, or one of the 2 songs, but she's on Sweet Home Alabama. So I thought that was quite interesting. So a great music icon that really is kind of under the surface, Mary Clayton. If you don't know about her, now at least you know a little bit. Now let's check out Southern Man. I'll have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Fran.
Southern man, you better keep your head. Don't forget what your good book said. Southern change is gonna come at last. Now you're crossing
Mary Clayton, Southern Man. Some great arrangement on this, right? Some great instrumentation. Different than Neil's as it should be, you know, almost not total funkiness to it, but a little bit of that to it. And I don't really know who's playing what because there's no musicianship credit on individual songs, just on the album itself. We got Wilton Felder on bass, Paul Humphrey on drums, David T. Walker on guitar, and a ton of people on keyboards on the different songs. Billy Preston's one of them. I can't tell you that he's on this song, but he's one of them. But, you know, the power from having a black woman sing this. And, of course, the song itself is wonderfully written, and it follows a lot of Uncle Neil's format, right? It starts out with the chorus, then verse 1, then verse 2, and ends with the chorus. So the chorus is bookended songs, and Neil uses that a ton. If you're familiar with his catalog, he does that a ton, and it's a nice songwriting trick, and it's pretty rare. You know, in verse 1, which says, I heard screaming, bullwhips cracking, how long is it going to last, oh Southern man? In the chorus especially, which is, don't forget what your good book said. Southern change is going to come at last. Now your crosses are burning fast. Incendiary lyrics whenever Neil is singing it, but when Mary's singing it, wow, it's powerful because she's talking to the Ku Klux Klan, obviously, right? And the Klan famously consider themselves Christians. Now, I'm a Christian man. They're the furthest thing from Christians you can possibly imagine. And called out on that by Neil here, but called out on it by Mary singing it is incredibly powerful. So really, really well done. She's got a fantastic voice. One of those artists where you're like, how did this person never become bigger? But there were so many artists in the 60s and 70s that so many great artists just got kind of lost in the shuffle where they're kind of known and could kind of make it, but weren't the stars that they should have been. And Mary seems like one of those that possibly fits in that category. Next up, we got Betty Davis, her song, They Say I'm Different, from the album of the same name in 1974. Now, I'd never even heard of this Betty Davis because when Fran sent it to me, I thought, it's going to be some old school Betty Davis against Mary Clayton, but no. As always, Fran knows more than Sean does. Betty Davis was an American singer, songwriter, and model. She was known for her controversial, sexually oriented lyrics and performance style, and was the second wife of Miles Davis. Yeah, that Miles Davis. She was 18 years younger than him. Her all-music profile describes her as, quote, a wildly flamboyant funk diva with few equals who combine the gritty emotional realism of Tina Turner, the futuristic fashion sense of David Bowie, and the trend-setting flair of course, her husband, Miles Davis. She's got a great story as well. When she was 16, she left her home and went to New York City, enrolling at the Fashion Institute of Technology, otherwise known as FIT, while living with her aunt. She soaked up the Greenwich Village culture and folk music of the early 60s. She also worked as a model, appearing in photo spreads in 17, Ebony, and Glamour, so she was a model, a big-time model. In New York, she met musicians such as Jimi Hendrix and Sly Stone. So you think about that, somebody young, meeting those guys, you know, in the Fashion Institute, in the modeling, you know, it's going to influence her. She said she didn't want to continue modeling because it was just based on looks, and once those left, you didn't have anything, so that's why she went the music route. After the end of her marriage with Miles, she moved to London, probably around 1971. She wrote music while in the UK, and after a year, returned to the US with the intention of recording songs with Santana, which Santana had a lot of great quotes about her too. Instead, she recorded her own songs with a group of West Coast funk musicians, including Larry Graham, Greg Errico, the Pointer Sisters, and members of Tower and Power. She wrote and arranged all of her songs. This is the early 70s doing that. That's awesome. She ended up making 3 albums. This one's her first one. None of them really commercially successful, but she remained a cult figure as a singer, due in part, as I talked about in the beginning, to her unabashedly sexual lyrics and performance styles, which were both controversial for the time. She had success in Europe, but in the US, she was barred from performing on television because of her sexually aggressive stage persona. Some of her shows were boycotted, and her songs were not played on the radio due to pressure by religious groups and the NAACP. So Betty was up against it, man. She was up against it. She persevered, but it's a wonderful story about her as well. All right, let's dig into the song.
They say I'm different 'cause I'm a piece of sugar cane. Sweet to the core, that's right, I got a rhythm. My great-grandma didn't like the foxtrot. Now instead she spit, it's nothing boogie jam on jam. Spit on! They say I'm different 'cause I eat chitlins. I can't help it, I was born and raised on them. moonshine. The baby King and Jimmy Ray rock on that.
The guitar and bass work is just fantastic, man.
They say I'm different. And that's why they say I'm strange. I'm talking about Big Mama Funk. Talk about it, talk about it. I'm talking about Lightning Hopkins. Talk about it, talk about it. I'm talking about Howlin' Wolf. Talk about it, talk about it. I'm talking about Albert King. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry. When I was sweet 16. And that's why they say I'm different. And that's why you think I'm strange. I'm talking about T-Bone Walker. Talk about it, talk about it. I'm talking about Muddy Waters. Talk about it, talk about it. I'm talking about Lead Belly, Sonny Terry, Brownie Boogie, Son of and Freddie County. That's a smear. That's a smear. Oh, hey. Oh, Bo Diddley, have you heard her? That's why they say I'm different. And that's why they say I'm strange. And that's why they say I'm funky. A little Richard Wild Lucille sang, you sure can sing it. Robert Johnson, Robert Johnson, Robert Johnson, he played the blues for me. And that's why, and that's why, and that's why they say I'm different. And that's why, and that's why, and that's why they say I'm strange. And that's why, and that's why, funky, 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 oh, funky. And that's why,
They say I'm different. I mean, I could see how this could be a theme song for Betty, right? This song was fantastic. Everything about it. I talked about it a little bit during in the reaction during the song. The guitar riff and the bass work that just repeated through there just sticks in your head. And she is just name checking everybody. She's telling everybody why she's different. Like they want to put her in this box and be like this, but she's really like this because everybody in her family went against the grain. Talks about her great grandma and great grandpa. So this goes way back. And then she just starts name checking all the greats. I'm talking about Big Mama Thornton, Lightning Hopkins, Howlin' Wolf, Albert King, Chuck Berry. She says that 3 times. When I was sweet 16. T-Bone Walker, Muddy Waters, Lead Belly, Sonny Terry, Brownie McGee, Son House and Freddie King, Bessie Smith, Bo Diddley, have you heard? And then Little Richard, Robert Johnson, right? The great Robert Johnson. That's why they say I'm different, why I'm strange, why I'm funky. That's how it kind of ends out in that outro, the repeating lines. That was absolutely fantastic. Like everything worked about the arrangement. Even her vocal delivery, you felt, I don't want to say arrogance, but that confidence, man, that confidence. Obviously, she doesn't have the pipes, at least in this song, she doesn't have to show off the pipes that Mary Clayton has, but she's able to make her voice work for her, right? It works with the song perfectly. All right, well, now I got to have a winner. And this one's an interesting one, right? Because Mary Clayton doing Southern Man is a statement, like it's a societal important statement. And her voice is fantastic. So that's important. They Say I'm Different. It's just a fantastic song. Like I said, everything about it. So I'm going to go with They Say I'm Different, but I don't think there's a wrong answer in this one because of the significance of Southern Man and Mary's great voice. So I'm going with Betty Davis, but I need your help. Who do you think won? Tell me in the comments below. Tell me why. What else should I check out from either one of these artists? Because I don't know anything of them, at least of the solo career of Mary Clayton. Thanks so much to Fran for bringing this one. Show him some love down below. And if you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. Hit that big red subscribe button. And until next time, guys, I will see you.